The following Dharma talk was given at Boundless Way Zen Temple in Worcester, Massachusetts.
In the heart of true and trusting, which we read this morning, Seng-chan writes, "Obey the true nature of things, and you walk freely and undisturbed." Obey the true nature of things, and you walk freely and undisturbed. This wonderful long poem, many different couplets put together, written in the 8th century in China. In some ways a guide for how to live in the world. And one of the first documents that really weaves in the ideas of Zen, coming from Confucian and Taoist thought and Buddhist thought, the meeting of these great traditions. And quite concerned about how we live in the world, which I think is always the center of our practice, maybe should be the center of our practice in whatever times we live. We might say some times are easy, some are difficult, but whenever and wherever we live, the challenge of our practice, the invitation of our practice, is to live in some new way. Usually we want to change the world to meet our expectations. We want to change the world to make us happy, to stop disturbing us. But in Zen, we practice letting the world be as it is, letting things be as they are, letting ourselves be as we are. And so here Seng-chan says, obey the true nature of things. Sounds very Taoist to me, following the way, the Tao. And this is an answer in some way, or maybe pointer to the question so many of us have, maybe all of us have. What should I do? What should I be doing? This might be the essential koan of being human, as we do appear to get to choose. You woke up this morning and you chose to come here. You could have done an infinite number of other things, but our days come and go. We wake up, we get out of bed, and we have to do something. And so what do we do? What do we not do? Where do we turn our attention? How do we live at ease in a world that is filled with suffering? It has always been like this. These teachings from ancient China arose during a period of great instability, great difficulty faced by the people of that time. And though we would like to be able to determine what happens outside us, it does not appear to be that way for us human beings. But Seng-chan says, obey the true nature of things. So what is the nature of things? And this too is a question we take up in our Zen practice. because the mind describes the world and thinks that the description is the world. It's like this, it's like that. But the teaching of the Buddha is that the world and the self are not separate. That what arises in the mind is part and parcel of the world, and we do not live in some kind of abstract world, but we live in the world that we create in our own mind. And Taoist teachings and Zen teachings point to some way of aligning with what is. The true nature of things, we might say the true nature of things is that suffering is unavoidable, that everything is impermanent, and that there is no fixed and permanent self. These three marks of existence, nothing is perfect, nothing is permanent, nothing is personal. The true nature of things is this rising and falling, the thought formations of the mind, the weather, the political situation, our lives arising, appearing, and disappearing. To obey the true nature of things is to see through, to see into. Over the recent months, I've been enjoying reading Michael's newsletter or his blog. I think it's called The Zen Art of Soke. And in his most recent issue, he was talking about the possibility of paying attention enough so that we can allow life to speak in its own voice. Paying attention to allow life to speak in its own voice. And when we do this, life feels less like effort and more like participation. Less like effort and more like participation. I think this is pointing at the same thing, to obey the true nature of things. What is this true nature, and how do we know? What should I do in the face of an increasingly authoritarian government here in the United States? What do I say? Where do I go? How do I stand for some kind of rule of law and common decency? To obey the true nature of things is to you walk freely and undisturbed. So obeying, we might say following. So getting up in the morning, what do? I can cause myself great anxiety. What should I do? I have this and I have that. I have so many things. Of course, there are more things to do in the world than you will ever be able to do. This may be part of a wonderful and amazing part of this world. It's constantly moving and shifting and never done. But what is your true work? What should you be doing with your, as Mary Oliver says, your one wild and precious life? And I think this idea of following, obedience is not a word many of us are very fond of, but to obey, to follow something deeper than just my opinion or my outrage. Then we can act in a way that's not just an opinionated acting out. Pierce gave a lovely talk the other night, and he was inquiring into this question of how do we act in a way in the world that does not just cause more trouble. This polarized world, the blame, the argument, and how do we not fall into despair, not fall into some kind of passive inaction, but enter into the world from this place, the place of the true heart, of taking action that is not merely instrumental action. I do this so that that happens. But there is a kind of action that is an expression of our true heart, an expression of our love. This kind of action is complete in itself. Yesterday, we had quite a bit of snow here in New England, and Melissa and I are fortunate enough to have a working snowblower, and I got to go out and do our driveway and sidewalk and also help some of the neighbors, and I was so happy to do that. Partly remembering when we only had shovels and had to dig out for hours after big snowstorms, and how I envied the snowblowers of our neighbors. But to be able to help in this way, not so that they would be grateful or something, but as an expression of caring. Sometimes hard to know how to express our love for the people around us. And this was such an easy and delightful way. And when we act in alignment, we might say, in alignment with the true nature of things, which is interconnected, which is rising and falling, which is the true nature of non-separation. Then there can be some completion in the action itself. Of course, every action we take, there's some outcome to it. Something happens. And so with the snowblower, I cleared some driveways, cut through the great berm that the snow plow of the street leaves at the end of each driveway. Almost 5 feet tall yesterday. It was quite something. So in the snow blowing, I did clear some pathway to walk, to move cars. But that was almost a side benefit. The intention was to give something, to offer help, to practice samu, to practice caretaking of this world. And in action that comes from this kind of awareness, this kind of alignment with our interconnection, there can be a fulfillment in the middle of difficulty. There can be an ease that arises, a freedom in the middle of great constraint. And the freedom not to have our way, not the freedom that the world is like we think it should be, but the freedom, we might say, of belonging, of doing our part, of aligning with something beyond the little ego, aligning with a way of being. William James, the great founder of psychology, really said that your action is your vote for the kind of world you want to live in. Your action is your vote for the kind of world you want to live in. And so as we sit and as we follow the breath, as we pay attention and pay attention and pay attention, perhaps we can begin to notice and follow what needs to be done, what is calling me. How do I act in alignment with my deepest love? Not always easy, not always sweet, or not always predictable, but always in each moment possible to live in this alignment, to obey the true nature of things, and to find our freedom, to find our life right here. Obey the true nature of things, and you walk freely and undisturbed. Thank you. So please relax your posture. I'll go around and say all of our names, all of us gathered here this morning. On audio, we have Dave L., Ray, Madhu, Adam, Paul at Snow Mountain, and then on the screen, Chad, Brad, Joanna, Joe and Pat, Tom Spriggs, John C., Annie, Aaron, Esther, George, Ava, Steve A., Jonathan, Pierce, Jesse, Ann Fine, Beverly, David C., Tom K., Anna Petra, Chaz, Michael in Copenhagen, Ann L., Michael in Worcester, Anna K., Rich, Vanessa, Craig, Todd, Corwin, Jenny, Deb and Matt, Marcus, Carla, Melissa, and I'm David. So, Dharma dialogue, let's look into it together. Craig.
Well, thank you so much for the talk, David. Sometimes it takes time for me for things to connect. And I'm remembering a year ago, you and Melissa introduced this idea of being free in the midst of suffering as an alternative to be free from. And somebody in the dialogue said, what does it mean to be free? And I think you left it, sit with that. and here we find this line, obey the true nature of things and we walk freely. And oh, yes, that's what it means to be free.
Mm-hmm. Right, obeying the true nature of things. Yeah, when we when we become oppositional to anything, we bring opposition into the world. And there's a way to go with things that gives us a sense of freedom that's very different from any of our ideas about it. Yeah, so I think there's some alignment here. I'm feeling, Craig. Thank you.
And that obeying, that freedom might be very intense kind of freedom, not kind of a lying in the hammock kind of freedom, but connecting and living something that is true, and the peace that comes from that in the middle of everything. Yeah, thank you, Craig. NL.
Yeah, thank you, David. What I've been thinking about a lot lately is that I don't know the true nature of things. And that's very different now from when the soul was written because of our communication, and now it's going further off. And obeying the true nature of things when it's right in front of me seems a possibility. But doing that when it's something far away and I'm asked to have a response to it, and I don't know what's happening, I can't feel what's happening. And it puts you in an impossible situation.
It's really true. I agree with that. The things that are happening immediately right here, but we're subject to so much created stories that appear to be right here, but they're actually very far away. I think that's an important thing. And we can get embroiled in all of it. But the real work, I think, to practice is to be here and not to get lost in something happening way, way, way far away from our bodies.
Well, and yet we're subject to things happen in other places that have huge impacts to us. And although the media situation is very different, maybe than it was 25 years ago, certainly different than it was 2,000 years ago, still all of us human beings live in a world which only a very small part comes to us. And I think this suspicion you're talking about, how can I know what is really happening, is a really important question. What do I believe? And I think it's one of the challenges of our time that you're pointing to, and I think so important, and possible to, given that that not knowing, still possible to move in some way that is aligned with our values.
And just to add, the other side of this is we are really one body. There's just one thing going on. So whatever we're feeling right here is what we learn to trust. And that includes this powerful sense of not knowing that you're pointing to, Anne. So thank you for that.
Michael.
Thank you for your talk, David. And thank you for quoting my newsletter. There's the word obey is a little bit tricky for me. Because immediately it sets up a duality. Like there's the true nature of things, and then there's me obeying it. Mm-hmm. For me, it seems maybe a little more appropriate to realize that the true nature of things is here, and there's a sort of absorption in it, and perhaps find that I'm not separate from the true nature of things. It's just what's flowing here. Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Michael, and that this word obey is really charged, setting up someone who knows and someone who doesn't know. But I think there is, and so for me, following what's arising is maybe easier, but there's something about obedience of following something that is deeper than my surface reaction. Right, that we all have some kind of knowing, and how to trust that the deepest knowing we can have, which is not the knowing of some opinion, but maybe the knowing of some other kind of sense, and that we can ignore. It's close to conscience. But I think not that intellectual. There is aligning with the Tao. And as you say, so important, the Tao is not outside. This is not about finding a new political movement, but this is about our own heart. The Tao, where is it? Well, where could it be except right here? Yeah. Thank you. Joanne. Last word.
Of course, I had to look the word up, and it conveys a listening and a perceiving, the word obey, which really is helpful for me. And listening today to you, thank you, and everyone, I really can't help but think how local, how to listen and perceive what is here locally, and find a way toward mutuality on so many levels in so many ways.
You know, I love
especially with all our search engines. Sorry.
I love that word mutuality. I think that maybe is pointing at something that's bigger than obeying, finding how we really are connected and living from that place, the place of mutuality. Thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, everyone. Let's come back to our Zazen posture for a few more breaths.